Welcome back to the Weekend Warrior Show Recap Podcast. I'm Ty from the Unemployed Architects. This week I'm talking about a couple of shows I had over the weekend. First, full band shows I've done in a really long time. Did the Friday night one. It was at Danville at an event called Summer Sounds. And then, so we did that one 4-piece, which I haven't done a 4-piece setup in a really long time, but it was super professional. Like, they hired a sound company to come in and, take care of all the sound, and lots of subs, lots of mains. They had we just haven't played with the actual sound guy for a long time either. We haven't played with a sound guy. So definitely different feel for that one, but I'll get kind of into that eventually. But otherwise, there was a Saturday night show that was in Champaign at Pour Bros, and that was just 3-piece. But yeah, so those are the first two that I've done in a really long time that have felt full. But okay, so Friday, the show was a little earlier. It was 6 to 9. We were supposed to get there at 4 for load-in. We did, right on time, which, almost never happens. We were there before the sound company was. But, so we got into the unloading, everything kind of set up, but then the sound people came, and it was just like, way different than we're used to. Used to playing with a pretty simple, but having all those sub frequencies really loud right next to the stage definitely makes it a challenge sometimes to sing. But it's outdoor, so that made it a little easier. But and it turned out to be like a really nice day. Both days were supposed to rain, and the way my luck usually goes, it feels like, if it's supposed to rain, it does, and then the show gets canceled. But both days ended up to be pretty nice days, and Friday night especially, and they had a covering over the stage, which was nice, and a lot of people came out. I mean, it seemed like almost half the town of Danville was there, and very professional. And it was Doug's First full set with us doing bass for us, so it was pretty cool. I think a lot of times in shows like that where it's so loud and there's a lot of people watching, and I can't really find where my vocals should be sometimes, and the adrenaline makes me work extra hard. So I think that, or makes me feel like I'm not working hard enough, so then I end up and go sharp on everything vocally. But I've been trying to really focus on relaxing when I'm playing, which is still a different challenge when you're standing up, because you're breathing, you get a little bit more worn out, and then you're over breathing. But I think I did better in this situation than I would normally do, so that was a win for sure. And then I don't know, everybody seemed to play pretty good. Lo was there. She sang a few tunes, which was cool. And Dave was there, and he stayed pretty focused and played the whole time, and that was pretty cool. And it was just a fun show all around. I think that by the end of it, I was pretty worn out. I was, there were a couple times in that last set where I kind of felt like I may pass out, but just kind of powered through it. And especially I remember we played Misery to close the show, and it was the last 5 minutes or whatever. That's kind of a long, epic song, and I just remember feeling the tempo slow kind of after the breakdown where it changes rhythm. I remember whew. And then there's a note at the end where I really belt it, and usually I would go way longer with it, but I was just there's no way. I felt like my knees were buckling. I was getting lightheaded, And so I was just like, nah. It's just, but I mean, I think it sounded pretty good. And got kind of used to it. The weird thing was going from that show with a really like professional setup and sound guy, and then doing the show on Saturday at Pour Brothers, where nice setup, nice courtyard, but just doing my own sound. I just use the JBLs. You don't have all those crazy low frequencies from subs, which I think, subs are great, but I think they're a lot better if you have in-ear monitors. I don't think they're, amazing for like just floor monitors, because those low frequencies just muffle everything and muddy it up. And so if you had the in-ears, you'd still be hearing kind of a clean sound. But so Saturday everything felt a lot cleaner, but it was just a different feel. You weren't like feeling every bass note in your toes to your nose. So just different. I tried extending my Roland amp that I usually use for the kick drum and Dave's percussion. I tried to use that to get a little bit more bass and a little more sound out of it. And it just didn't quite cut it as much as I wanted to. But it sounded fine. It was very humid that day. It was I definitely broke 2 strings during that set, and I felt like at the end of it, my fretboard was just wet, like not from sweat, not from rain, but from just the humidity in the air. And I've had a couple of shows like that in the past where it's just damp. But show went good. We played a little long, and I don't know, tear down on that show for some reason always is really hard, but it was nice. Jimbo, Dave's brother, was there, so he helped out a lot, which was super nice. Shout out to Jimbo. And he actually came up on stage and played a little congas for us, which was cool. But I don't know, I feel like we've had better shows there in the past, but it was still a pretty good one. I need to remember to bring a set list out, because especially now that with Doug, it's like I forget what songs he can and can't play, and I forget what songs I can and can't play. But overall, we got really positive feedback. I got CDs finally, so been getting a lot of CDs out with our name on it. And I mean, it's just a sample CD. It's not like anything special. I think there's 7 or 8 songs on it, and some that I overlooked that I should have put on there. But it's just like a incentive for somebody to walk up to our tip jar and leave some tips. And it's more of a business card, really. I don't really know how many people have CD players anymore. I don't think it's a whole lot. I mean, most computers don't come with a CD drive even to rip it onto your computer. But all that stuff you can find on Spotify, and that's kind of what it says on the front of the CD, is like there's a lot more music you can find anywhere you stream music. But just having something physical to take away, I feel like incentivizes people to come up and drop a tip in our jar. And that always helps us a ton, because it's like that's the money we don't plan for. So but yeah, it was 2 good shows in a row, and I think they both went well. I think the one Friday went a little bit better than the one on Saturday. And they were just, the dichotomy was crazy. It was like professional sound setup with giant subs and mains and nice floor monitors, to just my 2 little JBLs, which they kind of have subs on them, but they don't, they really don't have a lot of kick to them. And I didn't even use I used my little vocal monitor for vocals, but that was it. Everything I put the speakers behind, which is what I've been doing, which seems to help quite a bit. So just juxtaposed, I suppose. But they were both fun. We did 3 hours, both of them. I think there were points where I thought I was going to pass out, which means that I was working hard, I guess. But yeah, so that was that. Got 2 shows this upcoming week. I'm going to be at Thursday night in Peoria at Cruisin's on War Memorial from 6 to 9. And then Friday, I got the Owl's Nest in West Peoria from 8 to 11. It's supposed to be 2-piece, 3-piece. I think it's probably a good chance it's going to end up and be 3-piece, 4-piece for those. But that'll be what I'm talking about next week. So, as always, anybody who takes the time to listen, I appreciate you, and I will talk to you next time. Have a good one.